Shalom. Want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Blessings and salutation unto the elect and the hopeful elect that I came out there enduring this truth across the four corners of the earth, as well as the men and women that follow and those who might look like the other nations but are of the nation of Israel on your father's side by blood. And I want to get into a quick lesson dealing with examination. And within examination, examining ourselves. All right. Going into 2 Corinthians, the 13th chapter, and the 5th verse, it says, examine yourselves, whether ye be in the faith. Now, this is very important because sometimes you can get on autopilot. Sometimes you can, think that you're in the right when you're in the wrong. So it's correcting yourself and measure, judging yourself that ye be not judged. All right. Pretty much stand on 10 toes, standing on 10 toes and being aware of yourself as well as you're aware of your surroundings. Because I was thinking, just like, well, we'll get into the word real quick. It says examine, to try whether a thing can be done, to attempt, endeavor, to try, make trial of, for the purpose of ascertaining his quality or what he thinks or how he will behave himself. So also going like you notice it said to try, and trial, meaning you're putting something to a test. Okay. Just like an exam, a final exam is doing what? It's testing everything that you went over, pretty much. All right, because I wanted to get examination in the etymology. It says action or testing of judging, judicial inquiry, right? It says to weigh, to ponder or consider. And I like the sense of, it says test of knowledge. Because when you're examining yourselves, what we read, these scriptures, we hear brothers' epistles and brothers speak on certain things. And that's the knowledge that you're gaining. All right. The knowledge that you're gaining is what you got, the information that you got from what you got into or what you heard from the breakdowns, what you've read and what the Lord has given you and bestowed upon you. So when you're examining yourself, you're testing your knowledge. Am I doing this? Am I doing that? Hearing certain advice and suggestions. Are you applying those things? All right. But if you don't examine it, you just gaining all of this knowledge. All right. You'll get on autopilot and think just because you're around the knowledge that you're applying the knowledge, or because you're around the understanding that you understand what's going on or what's being said. No, you have to test these things out, man. Test out the knowledge that you receive from Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI. Okay, and going into examine, the root of it, it says put someone a question in regard to knowledge, competence, or skill. Inquire into qualifications or capabilities. It's just like a job. The purpose of an interview is to examine you, to see if you're competent or if you have the skill. Are you capable? Just when you go into when the Lord told, through the spirit of Moses' father-in-law to get able men. All right. That's what the Lord wants. Able men that are capable of getting the job done. All right. Now, in order to get a job done properly and correctly, you must first know how to do it. Okay. Just like getting hired on at a job, you might not know what's going on, but the person who's training you, all right, you make sure you're taking that knowledge in. And then when you're by yourself, that's where that self-examination comes. All right. Testing out what you've learned, this work, that work. Okay. And it's more important when we're by ourselves. We're not around other Akim. All right. That we're definitely examining ourselves. Okay. Because that's when you your own worst enemy. Okay. So you know yourself better than anybody else. And that's why the scriptures say, see, I'm gonna get it. See if I can remember exactly where. I'm gonna say 30. I think it's 37. Khan. This is Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 37 verse 27. It says, my son, prove thy soul in thy life. To prove something mean you testing it. To test it mean you put it on trial, you're examining it. All right. Prove thy soul in thy life, and see what is evil for it, and give not that unto it. And give not that unto it. If a video game is evil, if a certain job is evil, a certain woman is evil, all these things that can distract you and deter you and make you fall, if it's not good for you, then cut it off. Okay? Certain diets or whatever it is. Okay, then cut it off. Get rid of it. Give not that unto it. And go into 28, it says, for all things are not profitable for all men, neither hath every soul pleasure in everything. And that's why it's also important to be in this for you through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. Don't do something because another brother is doing it, man. You know, all things are not profitable for all men. A brother can have a certain type of lifestyle and still be able to be efficient in the truth, and you try to adapt to his lifestyle and you're not as efficient. Well, it don't work for you. All things are not profitable for all men. Okay, so going back into that definition, it says inspect the survey carefully, something carefully scrutinize, view or observe in all aspects. You know, so you kind of get the point. You're checking it out. You're testing things, you're making sure, you know, just like with your car, you're checking the oil, making sure the levels is right, the other fluids as well. You know, when the warning sign, the caution sign come up on your dashboard, okay, one of the fluids is low. So you got to examine and see what's going on. Why is it low? Did it run out? Is it leaking? You know, so on and so forth. So we got to do these unto ourselves as well. All right. So getting back into the precept, 2 Corinthians 13 and 5, it says, examine yourselves whether ye be in the faith. So you got to go through those different steps and testing yourself and putting yourself on trial and scrutinize yourself and observing yourself whether ye be in the faith. Are you are you being a follower of Yahawashi, of YAHAWASHI? Are you following in those steps? He was left as an example. Of course, we know we can't be perfect, but are you trying to be perfect? Are you striving to be perfect? It's going to be very hard to try to be perfect when you're not even examining yourself. Okay? It says, prove your own selves. Know ye not your own selves how that Yahawashi Mashiach is in you, except ye be reprobates, except you be void of judgment, where you just don't care. You just doing what you want. You don't think you're going to be judged for certain things that you've done or you even you said. Okay, so you have to examine yourself according to these scriptures. Examine yourself according to the way of YAHAWASHI, man. Examine yourself according to the truth, man. Okay, I did want to get the NLT. It says, examine yourselves to see if your faith is genuine, to see if it's real, if it's legit, if it's sincere. Test yourselves. Surely you know that Yahawashi Mashiach is among you. If not, you have failed the test of genuine faith. So, yeah. Okay, so because you know when the Lord's dealing with you. You know when the Lord is trying to correct you and reprove you and direct you in a certain way as well. You know, don't be stubborn as an ass. All right? You know, but examine yourself. Ponder upon it. Consider it. What's going on? How's this? You know, every day. Every day. Okay? I want to get one more, and then we'll close it out. I think it was 18. I'll just search it. Ecclesiasticus 18 and 20, it says, before judgment, examine thyself, and in the day of visitation thou shalt find mercy. And that's beautiful. Because if you judging yourself that you be not judged, if you correcting yourself in measure and you know, taking heed to what you're doing and how you're carrying yourself, all right, and not being and not just being on autopilot, all right, you'll be doing the proper things that you're supposed to do. So in the day of judgment, when the Lord does visit this earth, all right, you can receive mercy. Don't be expecting to receive mercy if you haven't given mercy. Okay. Now that's another. How are your characteristics? How are your traits? How are you carrying yourself? Are you showing charity? Are you showing mercy? Okay. Are you being a brother? All right. Are you in the spirit? These things you must examine, man. Okay. Whatever you're doing, can you do more? All right. Did you capitalize on opportunities? Because when you start to consider yourself and think about how you're operating, it allows you and gives you room to create opportunities of efficiency. All right. Create opportunities of action to get better at things, man. But if you just, it is what it is. I got the word, got my fringes, got, my garments. I hit the highways. I put my videos up. Like, no. That's cool, but examine yourself whether you be in the faith. Is it genuine? All right? Because we all know what we're capable of, man, through the spirit of YAHAWASHI. All right? So with that, Lord willing, you is edified, and Lord willing, we are allowed to endure unto the end. Once again, I want to give all praises unto Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHAWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. Shalom.